there, YouTube. On a stormy Saturday. It looks like I got a little bit of a break before the next front hits. The nice thing is, as the rain comes through and typhoons and gets everything wet, it's so windy and stormy out here that it dries it up almost immediately. Oh man, look at the fall colors just all of a sudden. We're under an extreme wind warning because the leaves still, or the trees still have all the leaves in them, and that makes them a little easier to blow over. They have a little more resistance to the wind. I am driving with my face shield open just because it feels good, and hopefully it won't be too windy. But I'm out to accomplish 3 things here. One is to wow, bug just hit me right in the nose. He was stronger than the wind flow off the windshield, apparently. But 3 things I'm trying to accomplish here. One, I got the sag properly set on the shocks. That night that I test rode it, I just had them spun in one turn. And when I got back, Kelly was back, and she helped me measure, and I had way too much sag in it. So what I ended up with was a total of 5 turns in, and that has me right at about an inch and a quarter of sag total. That's including the 1-inch compensator spring that puts that inch automatically built into it. It had quite a bit of sag in it, so I'm surprised it handled all the wind-blown tree debris everywhere. I was without power for 3 hours today, so it allowed me to catch up on a bunch of emails that's been kind of I've been behind on. I was planning on getting to my comments, but things just got going along there and ended up doing different things. So anyway, the power came back on at about noon, and it's it's 5:30 now. As you can see, there's my next front. I've got to beat that. Second thing, I want to drive by the threshing bee, which is, well, technically it started last night. They have like a party and a band and stuff like that going on Fridays. I got even leaves and branches floating in the water down there. So it's like a kickoff party last night, and the actual event is today. And weather permitting, Kelly's coming home with our grandson. I used to say my youngest grandson, but my daughter Christy has had another son, so I have a young grandson as well. But anyway, Lucas, who you guys have seen in videos before, and geez, since I've recorded him last, he must have grown 1.5 feet. He just shot up like a beanstalk. Crazy how they just go through this little transitional growing spurts. You know, they kind of hang out kind of the same for a while, and all of a sudden, well, he's in that. But anyway, look at that, nothing over $3. That means even my super will probably be about $3.29, which is the best it's been in a while. But more important than all that, than just some goofing off, I do want to see what the shocks feel like. I'm gonna take you on the whole road route, because that's pretty rough. I didn't want to take you on the Toledo Hooker Dimple Road route again, because But we already done that. And the third and most important thing is I have my the Super Tuner Pro connected. And one of the runs I haven't done on it, this will be the fourth run. The last run I done was the one I did on film for you guys. That was it. I think that was it. Or maybe that was the second one. I think that was the third one. Anyway, I didn't take... Did I take you guys for a ride after that one? I'm not sure. Cowlitz Prairie Grange Threshing Bee, August 29th and 30th. Today would be 2/9. But anyway, I wanted to do some slow running. I did this with the iron. I'm happy with it everywhere. But slower speeds, just kind of my normal goofing around riding. I do get some popping and carrying on and stuff like that. So I don't have it in my pocket today. I kind of have it lassoed behind me. And I'll step aside for a second, turn it on, and we'll start by going slow past the threshing bee, and we'll head out the whole road there. And hopefully I can beat the clouds before they put me in before they cover up the sun, and then this ride will turn all dark and funky looking. But so far, here, let's hit some of these little things here. Oh yeah, them little grooves where they cut the pavement out to put the reflectors in so the snow plows don't clip them off when they come through. Those usually give you a pretty good jolt. That felt like real nice. And it did, you know, I told you guys I didn't know if it was just because I got off the Spider, you know, literally, you know, the amount of time it took to put the shocks on, which was just a few minutes. But in that amount of time, I mean, I got off the Spider, walked in the shop, pulled the shocks out of the front cargo of the Spider, put them on, videoed it while I was doing it, and took off. So I didn't know if it was just a weird feeling from the Spider and jumping on this, but I felt like the ass was all squatted. Well, actually it was squatted. So, oh shit, I don't know if I can even see this thing. Oh, that's nice. Somewhere along the line I bumped the button. Gotta hope it wasn't too soon while it was in the enrichment circuit. She's in record mode. How the hell did I do that? It's way back there. How did I do that? How could I have possibly bumped that thing? Oh, you know what? I probably did it when I reached, because as I was talking to you, I reached back there and touched it. So I have no idea. I'll just let it run till the buffer runs out, and we'll just see what happens. God dang it. The thing, there's no way this thing was warmed up yet, so that it could give me some weird readings. Anyway, it looks like the nasty weather hasn't, well, you know, the crowd is a lot lighter than normal. Oh, it's towards the end of the day. Yeah, it's 5:30. People usually start bailing out around 5 o'clock. Yeah, so you can see they're putting tents up and stuff. Kind of woven up for the night. Wow, there's a lot of empty spaces out there though. But you'd be surprised, a lot of people leave for the night. They pack up and then they come back early in the morning. But you can see all the campers out there. That's the vendors and stuff. But a lot of them, like I say, will live close by or staying in a hotel or whatever, and they'll pack their stuff up and go home for the night and then just come back. At least I hope that's what they're going to do, because I plan on coming out here tomorrow. with Kelly and my grandson. He'll probably find that, well, I don't know. How do you predict what, oh, that is pouring down rain down that way. We might have to make this thing fairly quick here. Bomb down here a ways and we'll get the highway thing just busted out here right quick. How about that? Always when you want to bomb along, you got somebody sitting out by the street, you know. I'm not one of these people who like to draw a lot of attention to themselves. Oh, they got like a wedding or something going on. There's a whole crowd out there. Traffic where there's no traffic. Yeah, see, that sun's already gotten covered up by the clouds that were lingering back there. You know, another thing is I always end up taking you guys the same direction. I need to go the other way every once in a while too. Need to pay attention to that weather. It's really got me tripped out about hitting that button. I apparently hit it when I reached back there. I hate that when you have no idea when you started something, and it's in my head, you know, was the bike warmed up? Well, I'll know if it tries to make some crazy leaning out in the bottom end, but it couldn't have been too many hits, because, you know, I did let it sit out there and idle for a bit as I was getting my stuff ready. Ooh, look at that piece of the barn flapping in the wind there. This is rough as a codger right through here. We'll just force it to go through the bumps. Oh yeah, I have no issues with that at all. Oh yeah. Oh shit, it's raining now. And I've got both cameras on with no, neither one of them are in a waterproof case or anything like that. This may turn out to be a bust. This could be trouble, because I've got to go all the way back into Toledo and then come all the way back up the other side. Where the hell's that rain coming from? None of those, look like they're producers. It did say no rain for like 74 minutes, but that's probably been an hour and a half ago. So wow, look at all the junk in the road here. So I wonder what the wind has done for this. Whew, it's made the smell stick out very pronouncedly. Whew. That's a strong burnt house smell. Man, look at this. Looks like a war zone through here. And all that junk on the road has the potential of being slippery. But I know it's just right down at low speeds when you're just kind of loafing along, which surprisingly I end up doing a lot of. Just kind of low RPM, just kind of goofing off, you know. In just that quiet, soft mode, and you just want to kind of just goof off a little bit. I do that a surprising amount of time, and I've noticed when I'm driving around these real low RPMs, kind of floating speeds, I don't know if the cat is heating up exhaust. I need to look into. There's a. You can cut that cat out of there, but I need to find somebody good enough with a welder. Just take the exhaust shield off of there and plasma that sucker out and just dig the cat out of it. And she'll be cat free. Catalytic converter I'm talking about. You guys are probably wondering, what the hell is he talking about, a cat? It's such a common term for people to refer to catalytic converters as the cat that I just say things like that and assuming everybody knows what I'm talking about. That's not always the way now, is it? Yeah, that wind took some stuff apart. It was crazy earlier on. There were some healthy gusts. You know, it's that kind of wind gust that will hit you hard enough every once in a while you kind of hear your house crack. That's a weird thing. Some old bathtubs out there, those are always cool to like plant flowers around and put a pretty girl in them and take pictures. I've taken quite a few pictures like that. I don't know why that's a cool thing. People really like it. I don't know if you guys know some real light on and off throttle things here. You just get the that's little light things, but it's easily, oh, it looks like a car didn't negotiate that turn, took that guy's fence down. The heck out of you with a vlog. It's almost always a deer out there. There's one sitting right by that tree there. And one day I came through here, there's a little skunk sitting there on the side of the road. I think I was vlogging that because I turned around and tried to go back to it without getting close enough to get sprayed. But he was already, you can see when I came by, you know, they do that little arch thing. That's a good looking horse. Reminds me of Tough, the way he looks at you all curious like that. This hill you gotta watch. You get kids there every once in a while come bombing up that thing. Oh, I was actually going to stop right there and see if I'm still recording, or if it's filled the buffer up. Now them shocks make it not that I'm going fast or anything, but makes you feel more confident that it's not gonna, you know, bottom the shock out and buck you real hard. And in all honesty, the stock shocks never did that, but it's just probably more in my head than anything else. Just knowing that those things are so short just kind of had my psyche. Man, that is pouring down rain right down there. I hope that that's on the other side of the city, because I could really get wet here. This would not be cool. Probably gonna piss off farmers coming through here way faster than farm road speeds. To be honest with you, I don't even know what the speed is through here. It probably is 55 or something. I wouldn't be surprised anyway. Keep your eyeballs peeled for little four-legged critters out in the woods. It stays towards the center, so at least you got some room to react if you see something move in the ditch, you know. So I was kind of disappointed. I nice viewer commented about that Ultra, the lights coming on. That little dot right there is a light sensor. Well, some of the bikes, like the Ultras, use that to control the instrument lights. Well, I think that's a really cool thing, and I didn't even notice that. I was probably watching the shop and not hitting things or whatever, but viewer noticed and made a comment on it and put the little timestamp there, and I click on it, and I, well, I'll be a son of a gun. They do. They're adjusted. So I found, looked in the manual, and it actually shows you right where the light sensor's at, and did some research and actually looking in the boom manual, the infotainment center manual. It talks a little bit more about it, and it says adjusting the auto light level in the navigation only adjusts that ability in the instrument lights only on some models. So I went out this morning. That was one of my goofing around things while the power was off, because I couldn't turn the lights on in the shop. So I went out there with the flashlight. I was forcing everything to go bright and dark, and the instruments do not change. There's a time at dusk and where you almost can't read them gauges. I really like the black gauges off of that Ultra. I might have to literally look up and see what it'll cost to swap them things over. I may do that at some point. But one of the things I need to know is, is the odometer reading, is that saved in the odometer, or is that saved in the ECM? Because if it's saved in the odometer, then you get this funky mileage discrepancy that you'll always have with the bike. And me personally, that would just drive me nuts to know that, whatever miles the bike has on it, I know that, like now it'd have 1,631 extra miles on it if I was to go home and had them and replace them. So it depends on where that stuff is stored. Let's see what that thing's doing back there. If the buffer's full, I'd rather just go ahead and turn it off now so I don't accidentally get to the house and turn the damn bike off. You shut that key off or hit the power switch while that thing is still in record mode, it just loses your run. I hope I did enough slow stuff to see what's going on. Can't see, but no, it's actually still recording. We'll just keep going here. I have to remember to turn that thing off, because it's flashing slow now, and it'll flash real quick when the buffer's full, which is fine. It just means you've gone past the 15 minutes worth of memory to record that the thing has. And but you still have to hit the button to end the session before you boot the bike down. Man, I have literally had that in my head, pulled right up to the house and turned the key off and go. Because sometimes I go on runs, you don't have to go for a 15-minute run. If there's a specific area you're looking for, if the bike's all warmed up and everything, or even if it's not, go get it warmed up. You can go out for a rip, and you can, hammer that one spot for 5 minutes. You'd be surprised how much riding you can do in 5 minutes when you're trying to do something specific. Oh, I don't have my scene on. I just felt my phone buzz in my pocket. It's probably my wife going on. Heading for our grandson. Oh, no, she gets out at 5 on Saturdays. That's one drawback to a full face helmet. You know, if you, especially with this camera, the camera actually hits my chest before I can tilt the camera down far enough. You know, trying to twist with coats and crap on. Like looking down that back seat, I just about can't twist around far enough and see past the helmet, see if the damn thing's flashing. Look at this, all the people leave that threshing bee and just like fill all the little shops around here. Oh, there's a little auction going on. So since I got you here, I'm gonna run you past the bird here. This is that eagle that was out by the freeway at Gossiper Park. Of course you can't see it. I can hardly see it from all the reflections. Yeah, you probably can't see it at all. But I don't know if you guys remember that vlog. I told you they were gonna move that thing and put it in town here in Toledo somewhere. Well, that's where they put it. You know, they actually described where they're gonna put it, and it didn't make any sense to me. I just wonder if they didn't change it. I thought it was gonna be by a church or something. It's starting, the wind gusts are starting to kick up again. Almighty, every place I look at this, he's gonna pull right in front of me. She was about to pull in front of me. Oh, I could have pulled over right there. This is a Jackson Highway, and there's a good chance people will be diving in and out of that thing. So that's not a good place to stop. Well, one thing I'll know, the buffer's full, because that stupid thing, the way it sits on there, I just can't see it. Here, we'll just pull off on the side highway here right quick. Collins Road. So Collins is the one that loops down and goes through a bunch of those 90-degree turns and then pops out. That's got to be over 15 minutes. Yeah, because I've been recording for 28 minutes. I wonder if the thing is in error. I might have done something. No? Yeah, something's wrong. I've been recording well over the 15 minutes. Yeah, something's got to be wrong. Maybe I didn't get it in the right mode or some damn thing. Well, that's a bummer. I guess I'll get back and see if there's anything on the map. Yeah, because I mean it's a pretty deliberate push. Something's got to be in error. I hooked it up to the computer and put it in VCI record mode. So we'll just get up to the house here and I'll check the weather, and well, I'll hook it up to the computer, see if anything's there, and go from there and see how large the data is that recorded there. That's really weird. I've never had an issue, but I've clearly recorded longer. Well, wait a minute. How long was I talking to you guys? I might have started the video well before I started the recording, or who knows when I hit the button. But I think we've been recording longer than 15 minutes since I noticed that it was flashing. I don't know. Well, anyway, thanks for coming along for a little goof off ride. And well, I guess the suspension must be very, very good, because I haven't thought about it not even once, other than the little bumpy stuff, and it did really good right there. So there's your answer on the suspension. It works fantastic. Very, very happy. So on that, I'm gonna slip out and bid you guys and gals adieu. So we'll chit chat with you later. Thanks for hanging out with me here today. We'll talk to you later now. Thanks. Bye bye. Well, hello there, YouTube. I am back. That was a full recording, and that buzzard sitting on. Whoa! Let's not get hit by a buzzard. I was going to point out one that was in a tree, but anyway, it was a full recording, and I touched the little button after I had the bike running, and I don't know why. It seems like I've had to really push that thing before to actuate it. Man, the lightest brush. So that's what happened when I right before I pulled over, I reached back at some point. I'll have to look at the video or something, but I reached back as I was talking about it, and I set the thing off, and when I got home it was off. So I kind of misinformed you, because it's been a long time since, oh, they logged the top of that hill. Holy shit, I can see the mountains behind there now. Holy crap, when'd they do that? Wow, check that out. Whoa, that's a trip. Oh. So, anyway, it was a full record. But what I was going to say is, I misinformed you. When the buffer's full and it's in record mode, it just ends. So I get back and the light is sitting there solid, as if I had reached back there and turned the thing off. And so it's solid, so that it's not in record mode. So it just goes to the 15 minutes, shuts itself off. And so I cycle the key, come back on, and that's when it flashes fast to warn you, you can't record again. You're done. So yeah, I was goofing around there. I was about to leave, and I walked past, and I seen this is for my old iPhone 5, but it works fine on this. I can't get, not that I ever used the Note, but I can't get the Note in this one. I can get the 6 Plus in it, but the Note in its OtterBox won't fit. But you can see it's pretty much maxed out. But I've actually gone on a trip with this thing and not had a problem. But I'm using the ram mount claw, and it has, which is nice because it doesn't mark anything up. It has rubber inside its claws when it pinches down, and it adds some flexibility in it. So this, similar to the Indian Chieftain, picks up some undulations through the handlebar there, and just shakes the living hell out of my phone. This one will do it at idle. The Indian Chieftain has like zero Harley characteristics at idle. It's just smooth as glass. If it wasn't for the sound of it running, you probably wouldn't know it was. I would say it was similar to a balanced Harley, but that wouldn't be a true statement, because once you take off and you're humming down the road on the Indian, it has a somewhat of a similar soothing feeling that a Harley does. You kind of get that little bit of a rumble feedback. Hey, look at this! I'm going down what I call Toledo's version of Hooker Dimple Road, I have been the most tongue-tied son of a gun here this week. Did I have a stroke in the middle of the night or something, or what? I shouldn't even joke about something like that. Knock on wood. Oh, let's turn my scene on. My wife's on her way back. I think she spent a little extra time hanging out with our newest grandchild. He's just an infant, just a wee little feller. I got a whole new guy to. I got 3 grandsons and 1 granddaughter, and our oldest grandson. I think that kid's going to be I get a little bit of voice shake there, but that was a pretty heavy. You have no idea how rough that is. I can take you back through here on the iron. I'll show you how rough that is. I've got that iron set up stiff because it is a short throw. You know, you have to keep those kind of stiff. But that adds all to the character of it. I love it. It never hurts me. You know, even when I hit something hard enough to bottom out, it doesn't hurt me. It's just the way it needs to be. Anyway, our oldest grandson, I hate to be, I'm not going to go on to sing. I hate these people that brag about their kids, and I love the people that will bitch about somebody that brags about their kid and then compare their kid to them and go on this whole bragging spree. Oh, look at that sun. I hope the camera's seeing that, where it's lighting up all that grass. But I can't stand that when people just go on and on and on. If I'm wondering about your kid, I'll ask you. I don't want to sit there at dinner and listen to 20 minutes about you bragging about all their accomplishments and what, you know, where they've been, what they've done, and how great their grades are, and yada, yada, yada. You know, number one, nobody's that perfect. All you're doing is setting yourself up for failure. And oh man, have you seen that? I mean, I think some people put their kid on such a pedestal and they shelter them or something. I don't know what it is, but boy, they like break free of the parents' grip and go buck wily. And oh man, all kinds of troubles come from that. But you know, that's just, you know, some samples. But I'm not going to be one of the people that brag about my kids. If you want to know about my kid, I'll tell you. I'm not going to brag about them. You know, I'm one of these people that I don't brag about myself. Whatever you have nice or maybe bad to say about me is something I've deserved. I've gave you a reason to say this. I would never go, or these people that refer to themselves as a third party. Yeah, Shawn Smoak, you know, had a pretty rough time coming back and all that forest fire smoke, and so did his wife. And it's like, what? Who are you? But anyway, I love my grandkids. They all have their good and bad traits. But my oldest one, he's a little too bright for his own good sometimes. But anyway, he's awesome. And then Lucas, who's about to come over, he's just all about what's granddaddy doing, what's grandmama doing. Loves his grandmother. Oh man, does he love Kelly. And I'm gonna see if his feet will fit on the back of this thing. The rear pegs on this thing are pretty damn high, so he may be able to put his feet. And he had, like I said in the previous run here, he's grown like a wild mountain weed. I got this thing about rolling out of those things in third gear at you know, like 20 miles an hour, but it pulls right out. You know, one of the things, you know, I'm end up running over a stick and it's going to flip up and, you know, rip an O2 wire out or something not good, or I'm going to come back and find one of these damn fir tree cones stuffed in a weird place, you know. You ever run over like a cone or a little stick or something that gets wedged in your exhaust? And I mean, the thing's been there, you have no idea how long it's been there, and you get stuck in traffic somewhere, and you smell like wood burning, and you're looking all around, and finally a little smoke comes up. That little piece of wood or a little cone is wedged down in there, but like between your motor and the headlight. She's about ready to catch the fire, man. By the time you dig that thing out of there, it's smoldering. All you'd have to do is blow on it, and she'd go, woof. Kind of fancy fencing they got put up there. But anyway, I was kind of surprised at the changes that thing made. There went my stick. Front wheel kicked it, and it hit the bottom of the left floorboard. But I had up to a 5.5% change, leaning it out on the front cylinder and actually fattening up a little bit on the rear cylinder. But you know, one of the things I may have made a mistake on, which I couldn't have because I had to make it run for what it was then. You can't just put the stuff on and drive them. These things come out of the factory so crazy lean. You know, I know they say you can put an exhaust on it and they will run. Look at the deer. He's coming up on the side of the road here. Sticking his little head up. Ooh, he's got some little horns going down there. Oh, there's another one out there in the bush. Where's the rest of you? That's so pretty. That little creek thing that runs through there underneath those trees. And the cows go through there and they kind of, you know, it becomes cow level underneath the trees. Let's see, what was I? Let's see, now I'm at 10 minutes. It was 6:52 when I started, so I'm at 12 minutes. We'll just let her run out here a little bit. No sense in stopping the ride just yet, right? We'll just bomb down here and do my little short run back up to the cedar mill. Beat the car across. Yep. Oh, look at this. It almost looks like fall back here with all the needles and the crap all in the tree. Looks like we just had a winter storm. It's kind of risky. I wanted to stay in the tire track of that wood crap, but that kind of put me across the line on a blind turn. I'm going purely on the faith that there's older people driving slow out here. But anyway, I just want to take one more little run just to satisfy my that my tuning thing was. I just want to get it so percentage of change is real low. I didn't do a lot of open end stuff. Well, you guys pretty much ran with me the whole time. But there was like literally nothing up on the top side. Oddly enough, there was this one little thing at about 60% throttle in it. There was like a 2% change where it was a little lean. It fattened it up. So that was interesting. Ooh, where's all the dust coming from? Yeah, zooks. Yeah, she'll be shutting off here any moment now. Look at this. It's a freaking battle zone out here. Taking you guys along for some SGS off-roading prowess here. Didn't I just drive by here? Oh, that was a different vlog. That was last night. But I don't think there's anything in there worthy of anything. Wow, look at all this junk out here. Oh, you know what? Since I got you on here, and I'm sure my recording has stopped, we'll stop up here at the stop sign and take a peek. It'll just turn solid red. For some reason, I thought once it filled up, it flashed. It's only when you try to record on a full buffer that it flashes fast. So I'd have to turn the key off and back on to see the fast flashing. That's when I knew I got a full 15 minutes. I think I ran it out before on the low, but that's been a long time ago. Oh, one other thing. So it's only been, like, what, 3 weeks since I did the last recorded run. And, it always asks you to look for a software update. Well, sure enough, there's an update. And it's probably for the 2016s that just got released. Well, announced. I don't know when they'll receive them. They'll probably I think they receive them mid-September or so, if I remember right. Maybe it's late, so I have no idea. But anyway, there is an update, and so I go through the whole deal. I download it, and go to install it, and that marked the end of my old Sony Vaio being my Screaming Eagle tuning source, because it no longer works for Windows XP. The newest version is for Windows 7 and newer, which is weird. They excluded Vista out of that, which who in their right mind is running Windows Vista? But anyway, that's it for it. My problem with that is MyTune, because I think it was like $50 or something I paid for MyTune, and I don't know if I can transfer that over. Screaming Eagle software is free. They used to charge you $50 for it, but you can just download it now. Well, she's moving. She's a little higher, and I can see she's moving a little faster. I was expecting to see a wars. Oh, now you probably just heard that compensator rattle. I need to get all the details of that so I can explain to you guys better what's going on. There's always a kingfisher that comes flying out of that tree, and that was him right there. Actually, there's a couple of them that come out of there. How dark that water is. That's so cool looking. It reminds me of them old rivers in the Carolinas. But anyway, that if you let the RPMs drop too much, it's some kind of, believe it or not, it's an improved compensator, which is a part of the front sprocket in the chain case, but some kind of a locker or some kind of thing. But anyway, when the weird pulses that the engine gets when you drop the RPMs too low, it'll cause that thing to ratchet, and what you're just hearing that ratcheting sound. I mean, for the most part, it's easy to avoid it. So I hear some people have been buying the Screaming Eagle compensator kit, and that makes it go away. I haven't looked into that yet. I'm sure it's like enormously expensive, but I'm willing to try that. I hate having to think about how I'm taking off. I know I'll get used to it, and I know it's irritating me, because when I ride the iron, it's just like, oh, I don't have to worry about that. I can just let go of the clutch and let it tractor away. And it's weird. There's another deer standing in the road right there. Ooh, that's a good size one there. Look at that. Well, hello there, little deer. You fellas are out here everywhere, aren't you? Oh, look at you. You're out there playing them people. Whoa, I'm like third gear. Oh. So, you know how I complain how the gear indicator, you pull in the clutch, or when you come to a stop, which you got the clutch in anyway, unless you're neutral, and it's not going to show you that, because the light comes on. But the reason it doesn't show the gear position sensor is, or the gear position when you have the clutch in, is because it doesn't actually have a regular, you know, sensor like we know them in other motorcycles and stuff like that. It doesn't have a wheel sensor, or I mean a gear position sensor. It is calculating between I think it's the crank position sensor and the speed sensor. It doesn't have a cable. It's got a speed sensor off the drive, and based on those two, it calculates what gear it's in. It's a calculation. Well, when you throw the when you pull the clutch in, it changes. You know, the speed sensor for the engine changes at such a rate that it can't compute it. So it just kicks it out. And it actually says in the owner's manual that if you have if you slip the clutch too much, or you have a clutch that's failing and slipping, you'll see the light go out, because it can't. It's outside the parameters where it can determine what gear it's in. So it's basically monitoring a couple of sensors, and it's just a trick that it's able to calculate based on a couple of sensors that are a non-contact sensor, which means there's nothing to wear out. You have no idea how many shift angle sensors I replace on Spyders, motorcycles, Honda quads, Yamaha quads. There's basically a little brass nub that's on the end of the shift drum that literally goes around and makes contact. Or of course, when it makes contact with a little, you know, on the backside, you got wires coming in. On the inside, it's just a flat place with little brass buttons. And when the shift drum touches each one of those buttons, it tells it what gear it's in. And it essentially, the tab on the shift drum grounds the circuit out, and it just tells the ECM you're in whatever gear. Well, then things die all the time. And older Spyders like GSs and RSs, they're famous for them going out. I just replaced one on a 2012 RT Limited yesterday, which was kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever replaced one on an RT before, but it's the same sensor, so you know, why wouldn't it fail? But anyway, that's why when you pull the clutch in, the shift indicator goes away. So anyway, there's one last run. My phone hung out there. That'll work perfect. I can see all my gauges and everything. So there we are. We got a phone hookup for the Street Glide. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. We'll chit chat with you later. I'll go see my grandkid. We'll see you now. Thanks for watching.